Alright, so in this video, I'm going to show you the placement on the claws that I do. So this is what we consider an appendix rig. Alright, so if you're not familiar with the claw, what it does is when you mount this guy on it, these right here, like so, and what a lot of people don't understand is that they go in line with the belt. Sometimes they have them too low, and it's just not right, and it just looks stupid and doesn't work. So if you got this as close to the trigger guard as possible, but enough so you still have room for your grip. Alright, you need a good purchase. So we're going to go down just a little bit right there, and then, of course I moved that. Alright, and then what you also want to do is this is how you're going to place your blocking for your foamy. So you want this to ride as close to the center as possible, but also don't be too low. So looks like we're going to be right there. So the bottom is right to the end of the curve, top is right to the end of the curve. So I'm going to go ahead, square this up. And that's it. So right now we're going to load this in the oven. It's already blocked out. It's a multi-molds from Tony Katner. It's a Glock 26. And so what we're going to do is we're going to form it, and then I'll show you how exactly I do the mounting here. Because I do a special way where a lot of people don't do it, but if you notice, if you buy them from other people, this wiggles on the holster, and that's just not right. So the way I do it is nice and firm. So I'll show you how to do that. Also, another thing that you need to take in consideration, and you have people that say you want the claw, but they can't, is you can't do this setup. Because if they can't it, that goes this way now. So it's going to not ride on the claw. So it depends on where you mount both of them. So if a customer of mine wants a cant, I'll get a J-clip, one that mounts here. This isn't a J-clip, but it's what I have handy. So they both swing together. Alright, if that makes sense. So we're going to go ahead and bend this, take care of it, and then we'll turn the camera back on. I'll show you exactly how I mount it. Alright, we got everything we need. I went ahead, we formed it. I cut it, shaped it, drilled it, because you've seen all those in the past. And actually, as we'll point out this, if you notice that little line right there, that line is actually from the foam. That's where it pinches it. If you ever want to get rid of that line, I'm not going to care right now because our foam is going to go over it, so it's going to disappear. But if you ever want to get rid of that, you just gently warm up the Kydex with your heat gun, and then it will gradually go away. You don't want to go too much at one time, because what's going to happen is then you're going to deform your holster. So, but yeah, you don't have to worry about that, because one, this is going to be hidden, but two, it literally is nothing but cosmetic, and it's from your foam. Generally, when you start doing that, it means one of two things. Your foam is getting hard, which means you need to replace it, or way too much pressure. So that can do it. But this looks great. Carbon fiber, and it's left hand. If you notice in the beginning of the video, we were doing a right hand. I messed up, and it's actually a left hand, so I went and redid it. But as far as mounting these, this is what I use. You can find everything at Knife Kits or holstersmith.com. Steve Andrews is a good guy, and everything I use is from him. So one of the things that I use that a lot of people don't are called pass-throughs. So if you look closely at these, they're literally no slots or anything. They're thin, and if you take, I don't know if you could notice the difference here, but this one is a lot thinner than this one for the top wise of the shoulder. That's another reason why I like to use them. And then the length that we're going to be using here with a 1/4 inch retention gap is 0.725 underneath the head. So as long as you have a bolt that's equivalent to that, luckily I have 2 left, so I could go ahead and order some more. But from the head below is how they measure the length of it, not from the top of the head to the bottom. So keep that in mind. And calipers are a very good thing to use. So I already got my bushings cut. And then these are just my regular ones that I use for retention. They're 1/4 inch slotted posts, so I love those, and they're low profile as well. But I will show you how I go ahead and do this, because the way I do it is different, and it will lock it in place. So pass through in, okay. Then you use your claw. pass through number 2. Okay, square it up, then tighten it down. Okay, so if you notice, ain't going anywhere. All right, so bam. All right, next will be add your bushings. Bam. There. So, back at it. There's 1. And 2. So, if the customer or you are ever going to adjust the retention on this holster, the retention, instead of on this side, it's going to be this side. So it's going to be done with the flat head instead. G26. Ooh, yeah, oh yeah, that fits good. I like that. Let's see if it's good, and it still leaves plenty of room to loosen or tighten. So we're actually going to loosen this just a hair. All right, and then we'll go ahead. I got to laser engrave my foamy, and then I'll throw it back on. But that's what she's going to look like. So I'll be right back. All right, here we go. Fresh from the laser engraver. Oh, those are stuck together. That's cool. All right. And if you're not familiar, these claws, they come with 2 different size ones. Alright, I always like to put this guy on. A lot of people like to put this guy on, so your customer can put whatever they want on. So, for now, I'm going to load up the big guy. That goes in the back. Screw goes in the front. I don't Loctite this one because it can come off. Goes in the bag, and the customer gets it with the holster. And finished product. Bam. Happy bending.